What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Metal Maniacs Podcast. I'm Jay Ingersoll, and today's show is brought to you by our sponsor, Dave Stark at Stark Real Estate, where they do real estate right. So click the link in the description below to get all your real estate needs handled and any questions you may have. But today's show is featuring Sean Carpenter of three bands, actually. He drums in Goddikira, which they've been on the show before. Excellent band. Look out for a name change, just to let you know. He drums for a band called Filth Spewer from Indiana. Super sick band as well. And also plays guitar in Realm of Sheol. So I hope you enjoyed the interview that Nick and I did with Sean. And make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. We really appreciate it. Helps the show grow. And your support means the world. Peace. Good. How you doing, Sean?
Good to see you.
I'm good.
So,
good to see you guys too.
Yeah. Thanks for your time today. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for you guys' time too. Appreciate it.
With this interview, I kind of figured out we could almost kill three birds with one stone in a roundabout way. But just with that being said, we have a little history. I know. So we originally played with you guys, Relentless Sheol, because you're a guitar player in that, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so, and we talked then, and I wanted to get you guys on the show, but it's been a long time coming. And then when you joined Goddikira, we jammed with you all just this last summer at the Jolly Llama, which was sick, and I got some footage to send to you.
Really?
I didn't send that footage, but I got some footage of you guys jamming that night. So
it's not okay. Not something you already sent. Because I feel bad if somebody sent something. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, man.
No worries. And then you just joined Filth Spewer in October of last year. So
they just asked me to join. That was cool.
Oh yeah,
that was unexpected.
So lots to talk about. Obviously, we'll get into how you balance all of that and why you're such a wild man doing all them things, and and so we'll get on to all that. But since the show is about you today, my man, just tell me a little bit how you kind of got into just playing in general. Obviously, you're a multi-instrumentalist now, but what made you pick up a guitar and why extreme metal?
How far back you want to dig, bro?
I mean,
the beginning.
Yeah.
Beginning?
Take
okay.
Take us to the first metal song or the lightning bolt that struck you.
If I doze off or go too far left field, stop me. But let's say I was born in 91, so it all started with Dad's band practice. So my dad's been in a band since before I was born, so the late 70s. So I grew up basically in the band practice space because my dad was a single father. Raised me and my brother by himself, and he also worked for a sound company at the same time, so I was born and raised basically in music.
Beautiful. I love hearing stories like that, and that's exactly the answer I'm looking for. Yes,
it's like people think it's weird that I have band practice weekly, but nowadays it's like twice a week or 3 times a week depending on the schedule. But it's kind of weird to me not to have a band practice or some kind of musical forwardness in my life every weekend. You know what I mean? Like it feels empty without it.
Yeah, sure.
No, I love it. I love to hear it. Stay busy on it.
So you picked up guitar because your dad was in a band, or did you pick up drums first, or what?
It was actually drums first. So I started on drums. Well before I could even reach the pedal, I was up there slamming on the toms and smashing cymbals and shit. And actually, my dad's drummer most of my life is Realm of Sheol's drummer. So, the son of the drummer from my dad's band is now the drummer of my band.
Okay.
So it's not only did we grow up together in the band practice space, but we also created a project together. So now it's kind of a generational thing in a way.
Oh, that's cool.
Are you two close, like lifelong friends?
Oh yeah, me and him were basically god brothers. If you do the old the old mafia style of arranging the family or whatever.
Sweet.
It's just jokes though, nothing serious. But anyways, yeah, me and him are really tight. We grew up together, like I said, at the band practice space, and he had internet and I didn't growing up, so he was kind of my way of finding new music. Back in the day, he'd burn me CDs all the time, you know what I mean? He'd be showing me all the just new drumsticks that are coming out over the years, or just random shit. He always got me informed. So there's always been that camaraderie there.
Oh, I love to hear it. Sweet.
But yeah, actually, where I was going with that, yeah, I started guitar when Dimebag Darrell passed away. Actually, that's what inspired me to pick that up. Not like I'm like a crazy lead guitarist or anything like that, but just I grew up on that music, and that story was so sad the way he died and stuff. It just kind of inspired me, and I wrote a mini high school paper about it and shit. And one of the classmates was like, I didn't know he was a metalhead. And he's like, dude, and I'm like, yeah, dude.
Sweet.
About how he got shot because we were doing some kind of criminal stuff. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it involves criminal activity or something. And I was like, I got a story for you guys.
So did you start playing drums in projects then? And then when Realm of Sheol came about, you were playing guitar, or were you playing guitar before you started the drumming projects? Because I only knew you playing guitar in Realm of Sheol. I didn't even know you played drums. So,
well, drums have always been there, and never in projects or nothing. I did in middle school. I was in band for 2 years, and it was a small school, so it was 20 kids per class grade. So there wasn't many people there, so they would literally just stuff me behind a fucking 5-piece kit and a sheet of music. So I'd be running just the kick drum and the snare and maybe a crash here or there, something like that. So I grew up on basically playing in band and playing along to Disturbed and Linkin Park and all that shit. So I didn't really get really fast or nothing like that. It was more pocket drumming. And then in the later years, after getting into the guitar and projects and all that, and then this one band came along called Orthros, and they asked if I wanted to try out for them to do some shows and all that, and I set it so where I was a temporary, because I had all the stuff going on at the Realm and all that, so I didn't see myself staying. But that's what really started me getting serious about drumming, was that point forward.
So
I don't know if you guys remember Orthros, but that was kind of a short-lived fun time.
Not familiar.
No, I don't recall that one.
No, they came out with a single and stuff. I didn't help write that or nothing like that, but yeah. Then they asked me to play a couple shows. We opened up for Soulfly in Detroit, and did a couple other smaller shows in Detroit, and I think we played Mulligan's as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so then Realm of Sheol, the one thing I noticed about that, you had a self-titled, and that released on September 2nd, 2022. That was about the only piece of music that you kind of had out that I could listen to, because obviously Goddikira don't have anything out yet, and I didn't really hear anything.
There's a record we came out with, the old band name that's out, if you want to check that out. The old band name was Constellation of Fucus. I don't remember if I'm pronouncing that right, but that's why we changed the name, because you can barely pronounce it. But there is a precursor of Realm out there. I can send you the link for it later or something like that. You can check it out.
Yeah, Sean, was that word? Sean, was that Ophiuchus, like the 13th zodiac?
Yeah, that's it.
That's what
I don't
it is.
remember how. Yeah. If that's the pronunciation, thank you for correcting me.
I'm 50-50 on it, but I say Ophiuchus, but it could be another pronunciation as well. But I think that's an interesting concept, the 13th zodiac. That's cool.
I thought it was cool too. It was just trying to say the name to the fans, and everybody was confused about it. It just made it really complicated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we always say on the show, if you
that heart forward like that.
Yeah.
That was a little more proggy, and we're kind of going more death metal with the newer stuff. But yeah, the concept's
the band
there.
Name. Yeah. If you can't say the band name at the work water cooler the next day, if y'all can't just spit it, it's right. You might have to change it.
It was my first band in high school. It was Ocale's End. It was just a made up word. So don't tell me to pronounce or detail it for you. But you'd be like, what was your band name? A Cow's Head? And I'm like, damn, that was better than the one we actually have. Should we change that? People remember that? A Cow's Head? Hell yeah, let's go.
Sweet.
So now that you're in both of these bands playing drums, and then so Realmless Sheol, was that your main project, and now you are playing drums in these other bands, and now everything's your main project?
Basically, yeah, I'm full time in all of them, and we do a good job of organizing our band practices. And my manager is pretty well organized, and I'm keeping him informed on all the dates that we're booking, or stuff that's not announced and all that, so that everything kind of works together and all that.
So Goddikira, this is your first band playing drums in it, correct?
As a full time drummer, yes.
Yeah, like what you have going on currently.
Yep. And
so
then I'd say here's the second full time one.
Yeah. So what led to that decision to join that band full time? Because we're familiar with those guys. We've had them on the show before. Cool dudes. We're in talks with Cody. When you guys release stuff, we'll probably have you back on the show, because I've been in talks with Cody about that already. But yeah.
What led me to that decision? Well, they lost their drummer, and I just got my old Pearl drum set back, and I was like, you know what? Let's give this another go at the faster, harder drumming. And yeah, I did the audition, and somehow I made it. That material wasn't easy to learn. And then I learned double stroke kicks in the process as well. So that was fun, because I was a single stroke player for most of my life, and trying to get those speeds consistent throughout like multiple bars of music is like, okay, I got to do something different. And also with hands, I'm trying to learn a little push pull technique and like finger techniques and stuff too, to alleviate a little bit of the just fucking Cannibal Corpsing it out,
Yeah, the strain on the grind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't really say, but why extreme metal?
It's one of the more challenging. I'd say most satisfying once you nail it. You know what I mean? It's like it's almost like a jazz thing. You don't get it until you get it. You know what I mean? Like, people get it from the outside, but as a performer, why some people choose this music, I feel that it's more of like a personal fulfillment. More or less than trying to become this big thing or whatever. That's my take on it, I guess.
There's a definite satisfaction to being able to finally hit a skill ceiling that was previously, not attainable, whether it's a riff that you're learning or a riff that you've written. And once you can like nail it, you're right. And know that you can perform it, like, here we go. I've been working on this for the fans, kind of like for the fans, but just to perform it in front of people is the next level of excitement. That is very hard.
The part about it is people that recognize it and they see it. It's like,
yeah. Yeah. Well, some of the meme is true. Like, it's a bunch of dudes playing music for other dudes trying to impress those dudes. It's like no fucking lie. Like, we work at our craft forever. Of course I'm coming out here like, 10, 20 years in the game. I want to show you I can play with you too.
Side note though, there is a lot of badass chicks that are coming in and showing up more, a lot of, and it's awesome.
Yeah, there's more and more all of the time too. Thank you for stating that, Sean. That is a fact.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, for sure. But in the same token, trying to impress
all of us,
whatever sex that may be, right? Because they're like, they want to throw down some vocals and be like, have any dude come up to him and be like, them are sick vocals,
Yes.
Before that's like, that hits to the core.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's such a niche genre, it's just, so we're all in a league of our own, especially if you're a musician in the genre, then you're even more niche down instead of just a fan of extreme music. It's like, then you have this
divided on subdivided.
Yeah, yes. Exactly. Yep. But you have a way different
kind of my approach to it. I just thought of with my decision to go into extreme music, because I'm into metal, but I'm not like the biggest connoisseur of metal. Like, I love extreme metal, but I also have this other bubble that I love to listen to, like classical and like some pop music and like little bluegrass here or there. I love to mix it up. Classic rock. I got a vinyl collection. I'm just kind of all over the place. I'm not just into death metal or black metal or you know, I also listen to hip hop and R&B, you know, I'm everything.
Yeah.
Not to be that guy that's like everything, but like
Oh,
I like a lot of different musics.
well, I can usually sniper like the everything music fan with how about some polka? What do you like? What polka do you like? None? Yeah, you you liar. You don't like no
Listen to-
polka.
I watched what was that, Good Morning Vietnam?
Yeah.
When they're making fun of the polka guy.
Yes. Bill Murray, right?
The only a polka I listen to is just the when John Candy's band's playing in the back of that van on Home Alone or whatever, you know.
It's
That's
just to set the mood, but that's about it.
That's still my favorite polka. The Christmas time.
Yeah.
Snippet it. That's about all you can handle. At least you appreciate what's in that part.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I get that too. Like, I don't, I listen to metal a lot for this show, but any other time I'm not really listening to metal because sometimes you can't just always listen to metal, you know. And the fam ain't listening to metal.
Playing a show or something with all your death metal buddies. Sometimes the ride home will be fucking, for my boys anyways, it'll be like fucking Britney Spears or NSYNC, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes just to mix it up.
Yeah, the ears need a rest after all of that noise, for sure.
Exactly. Same goes for recordings and everything. Ear fatigue, genre fatigue. It's a thing.
So I'm assuming you're like most musicians and you work full time, if not more than full time or whatever. So how do you jam all of these three things in? Because I'm sure it's a lot of practice and remembering songs.
Well, yeah, that's the hardest part about drums, I'd have to say, when you want to practice them, especially acoustic drums, is finding a safe, you know, sound space that it doesn't annoy everybody or scare your cat or whatever. Also, I do pad work. I did luck out with all the PJ sound that's happened recently in my life, because I now have a sound space. I can work on my drums. I can crank my amp. I can sing in the shower and not feel like an idiot, you know, and just kind of work on everything on my free time. You know, I do work full time, but, you know, also don't have a girlfriend. I just got a cat, and my free time at home would be either working on pads or sitting down with a guitar, just going over the tracks and just slow burning the practice, you know. And another thing is, people don't think about when you over practice, and you gotta also rest what muscles that you do. Like I seen some guy, it's like on my Facebook, he was asking about I'm sore and all this, and what should I do? And I told him, like, work on different muscle groups. Like, say you burnt out your shoulders because you use mostly arms, so do a little bit of finger technique, you know, work the other muscle groups and let the others rest. Same goes with guitar. Like, you can over practice. I've got calcium deposits in my wrists from, you know, overplaying when I was younger, trying to catch up to everybody. But
I get a little sore spot between the ring and the pinky if the hands go for 8 to 12 hours on the fretboard. They start to not want to separate very well. So you're right. You do need to take a little break.
I get that one on my fret hand, the one right in that pocket.
That
okay.
Like
you're
between
holding,
songs.
yeah,
Some people see me, I'll just do this with my fingers and just like into that, like in between songs. Like, oh no, it's like squeezing a pen too hard. Sometimes you just
It's real.
get excited and just grab onto the fretboard.
So now with the drumming projects, it being Goddikira or Filth Spewer, excuse me. Are you involved in the writing process? Are you guys writing new music in those groups? I know Goddikira had a bunch of new music.
Yeah. So new music wise, they Filth Spewer, they already came to me with, I'd say, like the shells of drums pre-programmed stuff, where it's kind of got the feel of like the groove pop sections and stuff like that, and then they kind of give me free roam to write over top of that. And how that worked with one of the recent songs we just wrote together is I just GoPro'd my take on it with the click track, kind of edited into the video, like 25% or so audio wise. And then my guitarist Alex took that video and slowly manipulated the drum tracks and the program himself to match that. And then a couple weeks later, I came in and okayed it, because they live all the way down in Indiana, so
Sure.
I had to drive down. It's not so often we get together in person, but I went down there and went over with my notes, and we changed a couple things and kind of got it about as close as you can get with programming to like the feel of what I would do there, you know. And then Goddikira, I think you guys went over that in the podcast with Cody, where it's kind of a hybrid setup to where he's got an electric kit at his house, and then we record directly from the e-kit onto it. So all the new Goddikira stuff will be hand recorded. So that's really exciting.
Oh, sick.
Sweet.
Not acoustic, but pretty close. It's really satisfying.
So many bands. Yeah, so many bands. It's so common now just to program drums just because of the expense of recording drums and spots and microphones and big studios. So it is, you know, it's more common in, you know, a lot of guys are like, well, we kind of program the drums and our drummer plays it live. I mean, that's just kind of the way it goes to be able to get material out, you know. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, Sean, I was going to ask you, when they're sending you stuff, do you have any arrangement edits that you offer them? Like, hey, can we do this part longer? Or is it pretty much kind of like the song is locked in, it's orchestration, and you're just kind of putting your touch on it?
It's basically that, a little bit of both, to where they, like with the Filth Spewer, they already have a pre notion of the track, and then I put my feel on top of it. But I have, with Goddikira, I haven't helped any arrangements with Filth Spewer yet, but with Goddikira, I have had a couple suggestions that made it through.
Okay.
It's just something as simple as like a tribal intro that I helped arrange, and then we like stop the end part of a riff 3/4 of the way through instead of letting it run out. Just like little stuff like that. Nothing too major as far as arrangements, but
yeah, even the littlest of things like that gives you a little bit more buy-in. It allows your voice to be heard, and it just builds that camaraderie, as we say. So
yeah, I also try to not throw too much suggestions to overwhelm. Like, oh, this guy's trying to, you know, change
hijack
everything.
the project.
Like, sometimes I'm like, oh, that's a cool idea. It's not set, you know, it's not a permanent. It's just a suggestion. You know, that's how I try to. You know, it's not like this has got to happen. It's like, well, here's a cool idea. We can run with it or not.
Like
so Realm of Sheol, though, like that is your main creative outlet as far as writing, though, correct?
That is, I would say, the funny thing, that one's like a more old school process in a way. So I do have a couple parts where I have half songs or something like that pre-done before I bring it towards the band, but for the most part it's mostly just riff tapes that I'll put in the group chat, and then we'll pick out what sounds okay, and then we'll throw it in the program and then see if it passes that test, the you know, the old DAW test. We throw on here, micromanage every little note and everything, and then we take what riffs fit together for the most part, and okay, we got 2 riffs here that fit BPM, feel, you know, it checks all the marks, and then we'll build on that. And then these 2 riff tapes, oh, they don't work, so we got a little riff tape here, a little riff tape here, and then down the road we'll add and work on that foundation. So it's a little bit of the old school way where I just kind of shove a bunch of riff tapes at my drum burn, and he basically kind of arranges it from there. But he also he's got his own production company that he started when we started this band, called Nebulaic Audio.
Okay.
And I've been kind of helping provide him with all the riff tapes I can so that he can do more of the production side and get more experience in that. And I think he's been doing a fantastic job as far as arrangements and production choice and stuff that producers would do.
Awesome.
And it's all in-house, art-wise too. Our artwork was done in-house too by his fiance.
Awesome.
With that Realm of Sheol material, like I said, you released something on September 2nd, 2022. That was the last thing you guys had out. Can we expect anything new now with some of these riff tapes and some of this? I know it's kind of been on a hiatus, but talking about all the balance, can we expect anything new from you guys here shortly, or?
We are announcing the date for the release date for the next single really soon. I don't have an exact date for you right now, but it is soon.
Okay.
I would say
we'll keep our eye out for it.
A month or 2.
Okay.
So, and sorry to the fans that it's been so long. We not only life has happened, but we also really wanted to. I wouldn't say delete everything that's not good because we're still working on everything that's not. But we've brought forth the best of the batch of all the songs that we have created, and I hope that this is, at least from our eyes, it's the best 4 that we picked out of the bat. So I hope that it turns out how we think it's gonna. But also after this EP that's gonna come out, keep in mind we have something else built up behind it. So hopefully the release schedule after this will be a little more on pace, if you understand.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
More consistent.
Instead of a big or EP release, and then we do a bunch of shows, and then we're just kind of at the blue board again. Like we have a little bit of backup behind it to kind of move forward without having to stop here or there to work on our craft, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no breaks, no songwriting after the release. You guys are ready for another release. Basically, it sounds like right away.
Yeah, it's not full production done, but it is. Drums are wrote for, I'd say, half of them, and then the production is done for all the EP now. So basically, it's going to be just okay and everything with the rest of the band, and then we'll start our release schedule.
I love it. Real quick, I'll pass it back to Jason here, but I love the strategy. I love the idea, the model of it. Like just kind of have 2 releases set up.
It's just, you know.
I love it. Keep the momentum.
Yeah,
it was unintentional in the way it happened, but over the course of being at the drawing board, we ended up with a little more in the batch than we expected. So,
yeah.
But now that we focused on these 4 and they're all done with production and all that, it's time.
Sweet.
Now with the songs coming out, I heard you say EP and then you said single. So are you releasing one before the full EP, or are you just doing them each one at a time? What is that release schedule going to look like?
I don't think the boys will be mad at me for saying this, but I think we're going to be doing either a 2 or 3 single release before it releases as a whole album, because we've seen a lot of people do pretty good and successful with that route. So I think that's what we did for the first 2 EPs as well, and it seemed to work out pretty good. Not like we blew up or anything, but as many people as caught our eye so far, like that's crazy in my opinion.
Yeah. So and then that's a balance because you and Natalie are in both bands, then, right?
Yeah, that definitely helps.
So yeah. So new music from Realm of Sheol this year.
Yes.
Cool.
And it will feature Natalie and Tony both screaming at each other. It's going to be cool.
Do you have shows planned with Realm?
Not currently, actually.
Okay. So something to look out for.
Once we get closer to this release, I hope that we'll do something more in the local to send it off. Probably be at Mulligan's, but if we could get into like Pyramid Scheme, that would be cool, because we did our first either single or EP release at Pyramid, and it was really cool.
Love that venue.
Yeah,
me too. It's so cool venue, such a cool venue.
Switching gears back to Goddikira real quick. I noticed that it was about 1 year ago when you joined the band, and then they had announced it on like January 7th that they needed a drummer, and then you were already in the band by the 31st of January. Kudos to them guys for picking somebody up so quick. When I see something like that, I'm like, sometimes finding that drummer's a death blow to the. So when I was talking to Cody in Kalamazoo, when I seen him, he came out to our Iron show, I think sometime in the summer. He was saying that the new record's coming out pretty soon. With you joining the band and things changing a little bit, did that slow down the process? And when can we expect some new music from y'all?
So everything instrumental wise is recorded. We thought we had a new singer for a minute, but that went sour. So we're just about to announce a search for a new singer, with also another announcement which might involve a name change. So keep your eyes out for that.
Okay.
And we took a long time to figure out a strong name, because Goddikira is a pretty strong name in my opinion. Part of the reason why I wanted to join the project. So we took a lot of time to consider that and put some meaning behind it, and kind of tie it into the art itself.
I love the band name, but a change, a change is always warranted, especially when you're, so many member changes and it's early on still.
Yeah, and that, that'll help lift morale and help propel the band forward a little bit. It's always worth a shot.
Yeah, and that name is a cool name, but it's not that pronounceable water cooler name, going back to what we talked about earlier as well. You could say it in any which way, and you might see that name too and say, well, are these guys from America? You don't know, just because, and some people might get turned off by that.
Thought about that, but that's a good way of, a good angle.
It's kind of a sad reality, but yeah, some people are going to see that and just maybe some ethnocentrism kick in and be like, I can't pronounce it. It's probably foreign. I'm out, but I love it just because I'm a huge fan of the culture it's from, and I'm also a fan of Gojira. So I'm like Gojira, head to head. Let's get it.
Exactly. Hey, that'd be cool. Take us on tour. No,
yeah, right. Yeah. Let's go.
I like the name too. I'm just
close to our name. Don't put them on the bill.
I'm just thinking objectively about it as well. So where it could benefit, probably.
Right. It is exactly. And part of the whole music journey is sometimes you got to experiment to see what works and what doesn't.
And sometimes it is hard. I'll come across some black metal, and it's not that I care if they sing in a different, language or whatever, but when I'm reading through the stuff, I don't really know what it's saying to me. Like, I don't know the song titles or anything. So it is kind of, sometimes you can be turned away by that, And some people eat it up too. So, I don't
know why that sparked that in my mind, but Valdharda or Valjarda, however you pronounce it. That's a good example of a band that's bilingual and they do both. Like, some of their first stuff they came out with, I think, was a lot of it was in English, and then their more later, recent releases, they've been doing their
I think it's
their own
Swedish
language. I believe so, and it's just there's something about, it's like Rammstein. There's something about a different language that you don't understand, and if there's like some kind of feeling behind it, it's like you may not understand it with the words, but you can feel it in a way,
Well, okay, and I'll just bring it into pop culture right now. I mean, we had the whole Bad Bunny experience on the Super Bowl, and people were like, he's not speaking in English. I have a problem with this. Well, I'm like, the message is pretty clear to me. I'm picking up what he's putting down, and I feel the same way about the Viljarda stuff. Like, there's an energy in the way that he's singing to me. I don't need to know exactly what he's saying to me. I'm taking it as, like, the next English band over where this guy's frustrated about something. I got you, fam, and I can make up my own story as I go along. Some parts sound hopeful, some parts sound desperate. I love the new Viljarda album too, by the way.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, I think it's great.
It sucks that people will put a cabal on even giving it a try.
Yeah.
Just because of that. And I will admit, not exactly my cup of tea, but I did give it a quick shot and a listen. And just like what you said, I may not have understood exactly what he was saying, but the art and the message was very clear, and you could feel it,
Yeah,
and that was respectful.
And that music isn't really for me necessarily, but I did, after the fact, catch on to a couple of tunes where I was like, I could go to the club and bop my head to this one. So
parts of, I may not like it as a whole as my kind of music, but there is parts that I can pick out that I can enjoy, like the percussion bass of it. Like it's got a nice groove to it, and it's very tribal in a way, and I can enjoy that stuff because as a percussionist, I hear a little somebody, even just like if it's a little snare or something, like there's a percussionist in there. Hell yeah, let's go.
I love it.
Yeah, I just
kind of ties in with what. Go ahead, Jay.
I was just going to say I just reviewed a band's album, Elend, it's called. And,
that black metal.
Yeah, it's called Zerfall, and that was that. I guess my example was just that. Like I didn't really know any of the, like, I couldn't read what any of the songs were about. You know what I mean? Because I guess I could have translated, but then you got to copy and paste or whatever. Excellent
Yeah,
album.
sometimes it just work out
Absolutely
best.
fantastic album. Amazing musicians, and it was fine that I didn't understand what he was saying because he was yelling in black metal anyway. But I just, for me, it's just kind of like I kind of missed that part of the art when I can just glance at it and kind of know what the song may be or may not be about. So I guess that was my example. The whole you bring up the Bad Bunny thing, I think that's kind of ridiculous. I think that should be welcome, but that's just my take on it.
Yeah.
Thought America was about a bunch of cultures coming together, but
Exactly.
that's just my take on it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm for it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Change the channel? No way.
Yeah, I'm all about it, man.
Oh God, turn that off. All right, we're back on Bad Bunny.
Yeah. Express yourself. Okay.
And it goes to the point, Sean, you made earlier anyway, and then we'll bring it home.
Suffocation up there in the halftime show. That's some real multicultural right there.
Yeah, but you said you're not just a metalhead. A lot of us musicians are not just metalheads. We listen to everything, and that's going to include your pop music and your Super Bowl halftime, probably.
Yeah. And
as a musician, it's just like kudos to you for even getting on one of the biggest stages there are, period. Like, yeah, you don't get paid, but all of that, so many people know who you are because whoever it is, Red Hot Chili Peppers, from Bad Bunny to Shakira, you know what I mean? Like, as a musician, yeah. Well, I'm just saying we appreciate, with the Olympics, we appreciate that that's being seen. Your music's getting put on a stage that big, so it's all respect in my book.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to them sound techs and stagehands. Like, they have about as much time as a death metal band to get set up and ready to go, but they got to move about 20 platforms and 40 bushes and get about 50 people in line and perfectly synced. Like, holy shit!
Yeah,
the production on that is just you start you're tearing it apart. You're like, holy shit! Or like the Ozzy show, they had the rotating stage. Like, that's some little production shit that's just like mind blowing. Like, how'd they get them bands set up in 5 minutes? Oh, that's why.
Yeah, exactly. So speaking of any talks of touring with any of these bands, and how would you make that happen with 3 bands?
It would just come down to making sure everybody is, informed on each other's schedules. Or I've done, multiple bands in a night. So I wouldn't mind touring with 2 bands on the same bill. I just have to maybe put the 2 bands in the same slot basically, and it was simple for me. It would work that out easy. It would be if both bands were to tour together or something like that. Like, fuck it, let's do it.
Oh man, that would be a lot. Double tour.
It'll work that endurance right up, though.
Yeah, no kidding.
The only thing with in-ear monitors, though, I would have to set it up to where I would do guitar first, so Ron would have to start if it was like one of the 2 bands, so Ron would do it, and then I'd do drums after, because I do cans for drums because it's just way more comfortable, but I use plug-in in-ears for guitar, and once you get sweaty, getting them back in there is a nightmare, so might as well start with guitar and then do drums after or something. It should flow pretty easy.
So what shows do you got coming up right now, then? This won't be out for a little bit. I was going to give you a date, but I don't know. Probably about, you're safe to say 3 to 4 weeks, probably. But
well, that's a good question. Let me look at I don't know if this is messing up the video at all for you guys.
Yeah, you flip
ways, but
my bad.
No, you're good.
I'll at least do that, so I'm not sitting there sideways. Let's see. I do
Tommy Lee over here.
All the shows I have to announce are just for Filth Spewer because nobody else has any booked right now. Because like I said, Goddikira, we're about to do that announcement, looking for a singer and all that, so we don't have anything booked. But Realm doesn't have anything booked. I'm just trying to find where I put my itinerary. It's somewhere in here. Here we go. All right. So the ones that I can say, we just did. So we got next month is at Pierre's with Convalescence. That's in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And that will be 3/27.
All right.
We have one that's not announced on 4/10, 5/22, and then the 4th one I can't say anything about, but I will say it's going to be in Ohio.
Okay.
The other two that you mentioned, do they have cities that you could mention as well? The April and
no,
May dates.
because I don't have information on those yet. But
Fair. Thanks though.
maybe if I get that information to you before this comes out, we can superimpose something.
Yeah, send it over. Yeah.
Either that or we can. You got to turn your camera again now. Thanks.
Yep. I forgot to full screen it first. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can always drop them in the caption or something when the show comes on if you forward the dates to us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, after this episode, I'll see if I can't bug everybody to get those for you.
Sure.
Sure. Cool. So it sounds like Goddikira, that might be a little bit before anything kind of gets announced, and because if you don't have a singer, you're not going to put out an album.
Honestly just waiting for our new. We're just waiting for our new logo to come back before we do the announcement, so that we can show off the logo and.
But you need a vocalist. You need a vocalist. The music's done, so you need someone to sing on it. That's basically what you're saying.
That's the only holdup right now.
Okay, that makes sense. I was wondering because he was saying it was coming out, back in the summertime when I seen him down in Kazoo, and I was like, man,
we had somebody singing for us, if I remember right.
Yeah, that was probably the dude that played at the Jolly Llama when I seen you, the smaller dude with
That's
the black
what it was.
hair.
That was Scott. Yep.
Okay. Any particular reason why that didn't work out that can be disclosed, or?
Let's just say you shouldn't go on stage and threaten people.
Oh, okay, sure.
Not a good idea. That's usually frowned upon.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, that's all I'll say about that.
No, that's fine. I knew he was newer to singing anyway because he had made that clear when he played. So I didn't think he had that much experience, stage or even mic experience. Period. Right. So
with great power comes great responsibility.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I've learned that over the years.
Yeah. I've tiptoed up to the line on the microphone sometimes, people not acting right, but you don't do it yourself. You flag a security member down to do it. Can we get some security? You call for security. You don't call out generally the fan in the audience. Generally speaking, I don't know in what cases you want to single and isolate a member out of the audience. So,
well, that'd be one thing if the guy was even there, but he wasn't. So it's kind of a cheap shot in a way.
Yeah, can't have it.
In that same vein, it's like you got to think about your other members in the band before making a decision like that.
Yep,
it's pretty simple.
Yep, and that goes across the board a lot of ways too.
You could have just lost 10 people right there because they didn't like that.
Yeah.
Maybe you gained 2 people, but do you want those 2 people after that?
Yeah.
Yeah, when the negativity is the fuel for the, emotion and then you don't want to draw people away over nonsense like that for sure.
They say
unless you do it like Accuser of the Brethren, they do it right. They don't point anybody out. They're just like, everybody beat each other up or something.
Yeah.
Whatever.
They say that you catch more bees with honey than vinegar. Is that what they say?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. Where
Is
we
that
at?
why I'm stung so much? I'm just kidding.
All that sweetness, boy. Yeah, so you were saying earlier, basically, I don't feel like if I'm not making any advancement musically, that's why I'm committed to these 3 projects. I heard you say something like I don't feel like I'm making any progress. I can relate to that sometimes because we all kind of hide from death in one way or the other, whether it's under the blankets or keeping ourselves busy or whatever that looks like. So I totally get
absolutely.
that. How do you deal with burnout or overwhelm?
That's a really tough question there. I think everybody deals with their own personal struggles in different ways, but like I said, most of my burnout would be just physically, because mentally, musically, and in the mental state, and feeling pretty good as far as I'm really busy and playing a lot of shows and having a good time with all my buddies. So that's great. The physical burnout can also affect you mentally if you're not ready for it, and that's why I try to, when I can, give a little advice here or there to people that are feeling sore or a little down on their playing. It's like I said, sometimes just give your body a rest and then approach it in a day or two. You might surprise yourself what, just thinking about a piece, or, you're working on some music and you're really tired and you want to keep working at it. Well, just physically stop it. And if you want to, just mentally put it on it and just study it, old school, just put on the headphones and freaking meditate it out. And that's when I played drums for Visitant on that little tour, that's how I did it on the plane ride there. The material was about a month and 5 days fresh on me before I got sent out for that. So on the way there and in between every show and everything, I put on like 2 hours of just headphone time, just sitting there listening to the music, just ingraining it in there. And I don't remember if you guys asked me this before, but another way I learned music in a faster pace, especially under pressure like that, is sometimes I'll ask for a set list so I can learn, not just so I got the set list, but so I can learn the music almost in one piece instead of individual songs. So that I'll just, 30-minute song basically.
Yep.
And then I'll worry about separating them afterwards once I've figured them all out as good as I can. And that's a helpful tip for anybody that gets overwhelmed with, learning a bunch of new songs for a project, or you get asked to fill in or something like that. That's how I approach it. Just get them all done in one shot. And,
Sean, do you feel like having the several projects help you move out of one mental state of burnout and into a fresh state of mind for the other project? Do you think carrying so much actually helps alleviate a mental burnout in that capacity?
In a way, it does, but I would say that it's good to be preparing yourself before taking on something like that, because you could overwhelm yourself at the same point.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like where I'm at, it's like satisfying, but to somebody else that might be too much and then they quit entirely. So I would take that on a case by case basis. But with the right mindset, that's why you see, like back in the day, Phil Anselmo, when he was going through his back problems, he needed new outlets suited down and all that. And there's a lot of all the solo projects from the Kiss guys. Like it's, if you pay attention to it, you can see it in even the full time like millionaires. Like even they played that one song too many times or something, so they had to go and scream about something else for a second.
Yep.
Yeah, expressing your art in a different way always, there'll be times and there'll be cohesive sounds between some of the projects or whatever, but I think a lot of us like to branch out and just see what else we can come up with and challenge ourselves in different ways. And then going back to what you're saying about the like practice and the set as a whole too, it's like I totally get that, because then you're able to check that one off the list too, right? Because you're like, okay, song 1 I got pretty tight, let's go to song 2, and then you can just play them in order, and then it gives you a little checklist. At least that works for me, like mentally, right? To be like, because if you just got 15 songs, you're like, well, I don't even know where to start, what I got to do, so
Right. It helps. That's also comes down to communication as well. So that's make sure that if you're taking on something like that, to focus in on the important pieces, like say the set list music that they want to play on the tour, the run, or that show or whatever.
Yeah.
Just hone on those, and then whatever comes after, you've already put in the time to learn that. So the next one shouldn't be, unless they go like totally freaking gravity blast or something,
right?
Bump it up 30 deep, or whatever.
Yeah. So what is your ultimate goal with music then, Sean?
Just maybe see more of the world I haven't seen, and make something of it. Not maybe be rich or whatever, but just have a good time and enjoying the music, but also like making something of it. Like I said, maybe not a career or anything like that, but something that you can go out and see the world off of without just doing the grind all the time, I guess. Having to do your 40-hour week. Because I know a lot of touring people, they come back and they do their work in between and all that. I'd be perfectly fine living a life like that, But that would be the goal, is just to maybe get to that level,
Yeah,
just enough to be able to go out and see the world a little bit, but also stay humble with what you got,
Sure. I mean,
Maybe be the goal.
I see you in a perfect position to be a full-time touring musician. You're not beholden to much besides maybe your cat and some rent or whatever. But like you're in a position, so you're in a sweet spot right now, man. And that's when I was just grab that if you can.
Young enough to really do it and like physically do it, and then also have great memories, and also sounds like mature enough to not go out there and tank a really good opportunity. Sounds like you got a good level head on you. You're not gonna party it into the ground.
16, 17, being out there on the road, I would have been a nuisance to everybody. Good God. I quit drinking and everything since then, so we're pretty as level-headed as I can make myself, I guess.
Absolutely.
I say go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
That.
So that was a pretty big opportunity.
Go ahead, Jay.
I was going to say that was a pretty big opportunity with the Visitant stuff, right?
Oh man, that was so cool. It was a lot of pressure, and I put in a lot of work to try to make it happen. Yeah, I went out there and freaking did it with them. They were such cool people too. I couldn't, if you were to make up your own first tour, and like hand select musicians and personalities, I couldn't have hand selected a better crew to be out there with,
Very nice.
Not only was I sharing a drum set with Danny from Maluka, he was very accommodating and super nice, let me adjust what I needed to, the whole 9 yards. But just the camaraderie of the Visitant people. They had a stand-in bass player as well, and he's one of the best bass players I've ever played with. He played a freaking fretless,
damn.
Holy hell. And then you got freaking Chelsea up there screaming her head off, what the hell is going on? And you got Thomas from Homicide and Taylor from Unaligned up in front of me. I'm like, is it poking myself, pinching myself? What the hell?
Yeah.
And I'd never really been out of Michigan too much in my life either, so it was cool to see a little bit of the East Coast I've never seen also.
Oh yeah.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, that's why I said that life's perfect for you, man. I can see you doing that all the time. If that's something you want to do.
If it could happen, I'd be doing that every time I wake up. Like, am I here? Yeah, okay, we're some weird acid trip or something, or a bad dream, or that'd
still
be a good dream, I guess. So.
Yeah, right.
Still 16 on that trip.
Yeah. Oh, dude, yeah, that's what it felt like. Kind of, burning out in the factories for a lot of your life, and then you go do something cool like that. It was just like, not only did I want to do it musically, but now I just want to go out and freaking go see a couple cities just to go.
Mm-hmm.
Not even to go to a concert, go walk around or something.
Right.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. You got any hobbies you do outside of music? I know you're a pretty busy guy. Is there anything else that you kind of do with your downtime besides play drums and guitar?
Yeah, I like to ride dirt bikes a lot. So I go over to my brother's house. He's got a track over there. We ride bikes, and I used to ride BMX a lot before the knees and shins got bad and ankles. Used to skateboard a lot too, but same token on the BMX and thing. So now it's a lot of video games, and acquired PJ Sound recently after our boss died, me and my dad. So a lot of taking care of more drums and just dusting off amps and making sure shit works. And so the other hobby would be taking care of equipment, I guess.
What kind of video games are you into?
Oh boy, I've been playing since the 90s. But right now I'm playing a lot of Cyberpunk 2077.
Okay.
I'd say I'm like 80% through it. And I'm like 100 hours in or something like that. I've been just taking my time running around it. One of my favorite games would have to be Oblivion, though. You ever played that?
Yeah, Skyrim, excuse me. Yep.
Elder Scrolls. Yeah.
Yep. I'm on the Elder Scrolls tip. I want to get the remastered, what is it, Oblivion? That just came out, correct? They did it? Yeah, so that's on the radar.
It looks amazing. You got to have one of the newer consoles or like a really good PC to play it.
I've got the PS5, so
so you're set.
It's on the radar. I just it's brand new in the household, so you can't run out and get $1,000 worth of games. That's kind of like wild. You just one at a time. New toy, play with it until you're super done with it.
I wait till around Christmas and I get the Steam card for my brother and the extended family and stuff.
There you go.
And then that's when I get my games on Steam.
Yeah, I have all mad list of Steam games. I like to get the ones upstairs that can operate on the PS5 that I can play in front of the kids. So a Cyberpunk maybe not going to happen. GTA 5 doesn't get on. You know what I mean? But like the Dark Souls, I don't mind the fantasy stuff because I like to teach her to not be afraid of ghouls and goblins and skeletons and all that. And she's 9. She ain't afraid of none. She's been raised on Dark Souls 3, man. She's been playing it forever. She's better at it than I am. It's fun, but we don't mind. Yeah, we don't mind. Yeah. Her skill is crazy for a kid, because I just let her go ham on these 3D games, and she loves that open world stuff like Mario Odyssey. So she spins the controller really well, man. It's like, wow, kid.
That's impressive.
She asks me to play it, and I just tell her I'm not as good as you, but I will play for you.
Maybe when I was your age, because I remember all the Marios and all the old games, and Lion King and shit, the Impossible game. Kids don't play much anymore. And then you go try to revisit now, especially like Crash Bandicoot or something. You're like, how the hell did I beat this when I was 9? What the hell?
Right. Yeah.
Now I'm really into also this new game I just spotted on the computer called Body Cam, and it's like a Rainbow Six Siege kind of mix of like Call of Duty-ish type thing, and it's really super realistic. Like your gun, you gotta actually align it, and it's not just like a crosshair or whatever. Like,
right.
It makes you feel really fucking immersed without being a VR game, but it has that VR feeling or whatever.
That was my first thought. I was like, that sounds like it would be a VR game. That would be wild.
Yeah. They also just added zombies, so imagine that with zombies running at you too in the dark.
Oh God.
It's dope.
It's ridiculous.
Well, shoot, man. I appreciate your time today. Is there anything that you want to go over that we may have missed, or you'd be remiss if we didn't talk about anything you want to promote, or?
Well, other than once I get some dates for you to superimpose there,
sure.
Everything else, I can't really say anything else, really.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Well, we wish you luck on the search for the vocalist in Goddikira.
Thank you.
I would think that would be easier to replace than a drummer, and if their luck came like their drummer luck and announced a new guy in 3 weeks, which is unheard of in the band world, unless it's
I need a stroke of that luck, man.
Right.
I think we both lucked out in that one because they found a drummer and I found a band that I was in type of music that I was interested in pursuing.
Hell yeah, that's sick, dude.
That's like a whole whammy there.
Well, we ought to have the whole band back when you guys got it all locked down. Because
for
we
sure.
enjoyed having you around. Cody and Tim are great guys, and you as well, sir.
Anthony on a podcast with me a long time ago with Kyle Harris forever ago. That was fun.
Yeah,
so
glad we have you.
He's a riot, so if we can get Realm on, he'll make you guys laugh a lot.
Yeah,
we also got to get Filth Spewer too if you guys are interested. I'm sure they'd love to do
all three, yes.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are all active doing stuff. Obviously, we know Goddikira, or whatever it's going to be. So yeah, the door's open, man. Like I said, when I seen Realm of Sheol, like I was telling Nick the other day, a lot of times it's like if I see a band and I just love what they do or they really strike me, it's like I want to have you on. I kind of don't really, I just want to meet you.
I think I was going through getting my partial for my teeth at the time, and I was kind of embarrassed about having a big old gap here.
Which is understandable, which is no problem.
It's fair, man.
Yeah, I don't punish people.
Extra screen for you or something.
Yeah. I don't punish people. I don't beg people to be on the show. If you can do it, that's cool. I just like to talk to you, and if you can't, I'm cool too. Whatever. We almost have too many people asking to be on the show because that's why I wanted to do it this way instead of having you come out, because we could do it in a more concise manner and we can get more done. So we're trying to be able to interview more people just in a smaller manner, because you can only have so many people come out here and sit here for 2 hours and then do all that editing too. There's only so many hours in the week, so
that's even more you got to organize, because also not only that, but you got to host them,
Yep.
Make sure they're comfortable and make sure they got water. It's not hard to do. It's just like another step to the process.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Jay's always been a gracious host. My feelings have always been, wow, these guys drove 2.5 hours to come and sit with us. I feel like, did we give them the most value for their drive, But a lot of times, sometimes, like I went out to lunch with no deception afterwards. Like if things align, like we can go and get a pizza or a beer or something after the fact, which isn't often. But I love stuff like that. When everybody gets together, we try to give everybody as much value as we can for that drive. Like besides the sit in the room.
Yeah. Maybe when we do a band thing, maybe we can, figure something down the road where you're not so booked up, and we can do it in person or something. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I would love to do something in person for sure, man.
I'd like to keep that for the band thing, though. I wouldn't want to, take that opportunity away from them.
No, absolutely, absolutely. But it just works too. Like we're in the middle, kind of the winter and shit right now too. So it just kind of gives at least we can use technology for a touch point at least. So yeah, dude.
Yeah, so it definitely worked out for me because I just went to Indiana and back, so that definitely saved me a little bit of gas money.
Absolutely. And you are you just in GR?
Yeah, I'm in Grand Rapids.
Okay, cool. So you're kind of in the middle. That's 2.5 hours to go practice with Filth Spewer.
Yeah, it was about a solid 2 hours.
2 hours, yeah. Not too far over the border then. No,
just right over by Elkhart.
Oh, okay.
Just a little bit northeast of it, or north. Directly north, somewhere over there.
That's not terrible. That drive ain't too bad south there. In the winter, probably, but.
Yeah, the last practice before the show Friday, it was a couple weeks ago, and it was right after that ice storm, so I was going down there like 45 miles an hour or whatever the whole way. So I made 2 hours turn to like almost three or whatever, but I was on a podcast and all that good shit.
I feel like I remember some years back we did an infinite design practice in a winter storm or something like that, Jason, and we had to say yes to it because we had said no to too many prior practices. We were like, we have to have this practice.
Yeah.
And we took the photo in the car and we were just like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, it was white out fucking.
It was this bad?
Yeah. It was about 20 minutes from us, so it probably took us 40 minutes to get there or so.
That reminds me of a house show Realm did when we were on our last band name I told you guys about. It was like 2019 or 2018. We did a house show, and it was midwinter, and like it just dumped like 1.5 feet on us. So I think Throne played there, and their bass player would walk around barefoot, like outside in the snow and shit. It was like, this shit's crazy. And like there's 30 people packed in this house mid snowstorm and shit. It was nuts.
Great. Fun.
Yeah, he's always barefoot.
I noticed that after that first show. I was like, this is awesome. These guys are into it.
Well, shoot, Sean. I appreciate your time today, man.
Yes.
Thank you very much. What's that?
Record on my it's just that sparked. I got a Throne record on my wall back there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sweet.
It's a good one to have.
Yes.
They rule.
So good. Yeah, thanks for having me on, you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course,
Thank
man.
you.
Nice seeing you again, and we'll talk soon. Maybe our bands will cross paths this summer. We'll see what happens.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
Very possible.
I want to get to booking some more shows with you guys. I miss you guys.
Yeah, for sure. As far as the singer goes, though, you said you're going to announce that here. Obviously, this won't come out for a little bit, but we're on the day after Valentine's Day right now, so you guys going to announce that like this week? You're just waiting for that logo to come back, you said?
Yeah, we're just waiting for that logo to come back.
Okay.
Do you want me to give you a little inside scoop?
Well, just let us know, and then I'll post something on our page for you, too. Like, I'll share it if you guys are looking for a vocalist or whatever. Just, that should be,
okay.
There are a lot of vocalists out of there, so hopefully you can find one that fits.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, we'll put it on blast.
Yeah, for sure.
Put it on blast.
Yeah.
This man needs a fucking singer.
Yeah.
You're good.
Don't threaten people. All right, cool. Yep. Not a good look. But all right, brother. I'll talk to you. We'll talk to you soon, man. Yep, it was. See you, bro.
Thanks for talking.
Yeah.
See you guys,
man. Sean.
Peace.
Later.
Bye.
Thank you so much for checking out the episode. Be sure to hit that like button and give us a share.
Yeah, and if you enjoyed our podcast today, please give it a rating on your streaming service to help us gain some exposure.
And if you really enjoyed the show, please give us a follow or hit that subscribe button and come hang out with us every week. And remember, keep it metal.